If you want your chili plants to grow big and strong, this is a step you cannot skip. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday to you all. It is day 55 of the Chili Grow Up, and today is feeding and watering. I'm going to get some fertilizer, dilute it down just enough to give every plant a good drink, nothing too crazy. Now, I've been bottom watering, which by this we usually put it submerge the bottom of the cups into the fertilizer and water and let them drink up. Now, most of the roots have pretty much made it to the bottom, and yesterday I threw for most of them some soil on top, and that was a little bit moistened on top of the dry soil. You can see there's one that's been, these have been done. These ones, as you can see, haven't. They're still quite dry, so that's okay. What I was thinking of doing this time though, as the roots have made it all down to the bottom, what we're going to do is just put a little bit onto the top. If it's dry, it's going to benefit and water the top, make its way down. If it is going to go through the wetter soil that was put on yesterday, it will pass that straight away and then hit the drier soil anyway. I think that's what I'm thinking. I may be absolutely wrong and doing a really stupid thing here, but we'll try that. Just a little bit easier to get them all fed and watered, and keep them all in the containers, and they've got their additional cups for drainage, so we can just throw a good amount in. Just make sure it's not too strong so it doesn't burn the roots and kill the plant, and we'll get them all fed and watered, and we can get this day going for them back under the lights, and we can check on them on Sunday, see how they've taken that water and fertilizer. They've done well so far. Pretty much every Saturday I've been giving them a bit of food and drink, and as you can see, I think they're doing great. Talking of doing great, I hope you're doing great. How's your weekend going? Are you having a lovely weekend? I hope you are. We are. Me and Miss Lucy are. She's just having a snooze. She's like, why have you woken me up? Yeah, I'll let you get back to sleep. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to dilute the organic liquid seaweed fertilizer with my t-shirt over my nose, I can assure you, because it does smell a little bit horrible. And water it down a lot more than what they recommend. Less is more in this case. We don't want it too strong, but we want to make sure they have a little something. I'll get them into the cups and the pots so they can get good and strong, give us loads of peppers. Let's get into it. Let's get this day started. Okay, so I'm using an old milk bottle, washed it out because that's 2 litres in there. And as you can see, there's the water line there, it's showing just at the top, so there's still plenty of room. What I'm going to do is add this liquid seaweed fertilizer. It's about half a cap there. Whew, stinky, stinky. There it is, bubbling away, doing its thing, so we can close the cap, shake it all up and get it right into the plants. Shake that up, and first thing we're going to do is get it into our overwintered cayenne. Get it all good and strong. A bit there. There we go. And then if it is any over leak in there, it's going to just go straight down into the sink. That's a good soak of fertilizer water there for our overwintered cayenne. Okay, let's do these potted plants. Now I've got trays below for drainage, so each one is just going to get a little splash. There we go, just a little dash. Just to wet the soil, nothing too drastic. Little drink, little shot. There it is, so just to wet the top and let it run down. One. Oops. Try not to throw it all over the floor. Watering and fertilizing complete. They've all had a very good drink. So what we're going to do before they go back under the lights, let's give them 10 minutes and I can check the cups then and see how the drainage is doing. See, nothing's come through there yet. I just want to make sure they're not going to be waterlogged. And see, it's starting to drip through there. Let's have a little look. Yeah, just want to make sure none of them go waterlogged, because we can't have them sitting in the water, because that will burn the roots, or what's known as root rot, where if it's just sat in water the whole time, it's not going to do any good for them. So let's give them 10 minutes. I can check all of the cups, check the bottom trays of the transplanted plants, and throw away, drain off any of the excess fertilized water, so they're good and ready to go back under the lights and get good and strong for the week. Let's have a check, back in 10. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. So any water that's fell through now, we should be able to see collecting. So I just want to make sure they're not submerged. That's why we have the 2 cups. One has the slits in the bottom, and then the other one has a stone, and it's not got any holes in that second cup. So we can just put through. It's looking all right. Let's have a little look at this one. Ooh, little bit dripping there. That's just from out of the top. Look, just little bits. So we can have a little look through. See, nothing too full. I've got to say, for this ghost pepper, look at those roots. So for example, this habanero, the tops were super dry enough to where there was gaps along the bottom, and then obviously the water has trickled through, so it's not too full, but we may as well get rid of that amount, so if there is any more to drip out, it's not going to submerge it. So easy way around this, I've got my soil tub, and I can just tip that in there, and that can put some nutrients into that soil when we use it to transplant some of these peppers into bigger pots. So here we've got a Carolina Reaper, very small, and it was very dry soil, but in the bottom, look, it's quite a bit of fertilizer water. So there's an easy solution. Again, we just take that out, tip that in there, and then it's all set for the Carolina Reaper to go back in. And if there is any more to drain, it's got plenty of room to drop it all out into. So here's an example of why we need to triple check everything. This habanero, the stone I put in there isn't too big, so as you can see, it's pretty submerged in there. Not good for the soil, not good for the plant. So we're going to do a couple of things. Let's drain it first. Now this will probably fix it, because I don't think too much is going to come out now. But let's change the stone over, so it's going to be more space, more drainage room. There we go, second stone in there, a lot bigger. Million times better, so much more space. You can see the gap where a lot of that water would have gone. But the soil's all good now. Our plant is happy, and there's lots of drainage space if there's any more excess water. Perfect. Our little dream catcher here. Oh, yep, there's quite a bit in there, look. Let's get that drained. Perfect. All set and ready with the dream catcher. Checking through everything, there wasn't too much excess fertilizer and water. Just a little bit, but that's gone into the soil now, into the overstock of the soil. They're all set and ready. We'll keep them in these tubs for now, just for any excess drainage, and in the containers for the potted plants. But let's get them all under the lights, get them the energy they need, and then wrap the day up for our watering and fertilizing. Alright, day 55 is done. All the plants are super fed and watered. As you can see, the soil is glistening here in the light. Wasn't too much drainage needed. Literally, that was the amount left. I just put in the tub there. I'm going to throw that into the soil downstairs, and that will be used to put lots of nutrients into that soil, and we'll be using it to transplant these cups into bigger pots, and these bigger pots into eventually the grow bags. So that wraps up the day. Thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you all. I can't get over how many views and likes and comments and people around the world. It's just awesome. Keeps me going, keeps me happy, keeps the plants happy. You can tell. Just thank you all so much. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know how your chilies are doing. Let me know how your day's going. Because we're here for organic plants and also organic minds. Let's get through this one day at a time as the plants are. Let's make sure that everything's okay. Let's make sure the lights are on blue for vegetation. You take care of yourself. Make sure you look after me, myself and I. Because no one's going to throw your lifeline if you're drowning. Have a wonderful Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Sunday. And we'll see how these plants have taken the new soil and the water and the fertilizer. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye-bye.